Three, two, one.
Hello, and thanks once again for joining us here on the Andrew Richter Show. Once again, we have our guest Dennis Holman joining us today.
Thank you.
And of course, the wonderful Mr. Andrew Richter.
I think, therefore I am.
Aha.
Andrew Richter, the television show.
Yes. Okay, so today, today, as you know, we like to expose all the interesting things that our government does for us. And we're going to be talking about
same thing I was thinking.
We're going to be talking today about the government being in the housing business. More specifically, I think eminent domain is going to come up today. The cities seem to be acquiring homes and scaring people out of their homes and then redeveloping and building bigger homes. And where is this going? Richter?
Well, as you probably know, anybody who's followed my show, we've been talking about this for quite a while now, a year or two, about, again, governments acquiring assets. I mean, I live in Crystal, where in Crystal alone, over the last 4 years, has increased their total assets by $21 million. They're buying property, they are redeveloping things, they have a master plan that they have to submit to the Met Council, a 2030 plan, which we've talked about a number of times, and they update it. They update it constantly and tell the Met Council how they're doing. And they are acquiring mass amounts of property for redevelopment. The latest thing in Crystal is purchasing Kavanaugh School. If you don't know where that is, it's on 81, just south of the bridge that was just redone and out for an entire year. And basically, District 281 is vacating that building in June. And they're looking to get rid of it and get it off there so they don't have to pay it and all that. And the city came in and bought Kavanaugh School. Now, how much do you think they paid for?
$281,000.
Guess again.
190. I mean, it's an old school.
Old school. There's a parkland right there.
Yeah.
$956,000.
Oh, so they overpaid for it. What a shock.
Well, I mean, you got one government entity selling it to another one, so again, there's no accountability anywhere. And guess what they want to put at Kavanaugh School?
A new school?
No, not quite. Dennis, you got a guess?
I would guess in favor of a park or a wetland. Put it.
Oh, wetland.
High-density senior housing is what they want. Yeah.
Oh, I know. They're going to need it because they're driving all of us out of our homes.
Yes.
Show the map. Show the map.
It's all about, this right here is I don't know how well you can see this, but this is all the dots, the black dots, are homes that they're purchasing through their Economic Development Authority, which is a special thing that they have from the legislature that allows them to basically.
Oh, you say purchasing so nice. He doesn't say eminent domain, and
No.
a lot of it.
I know,
but a lot of it is what they do is they come and they force you out of your home. Ask me, I know because it's happened to me.
But you know, the Kavanaugh thing, they are going to maintain the park and the green area, of course.
Oh, sure.
But you know, that light right there at 81 in that Kavanaugh is such a nightmare that to put up high-density housing right there just seems like a disaster waiting to happen, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, taking a left out of there is horrible. It slows the traffic down on 81. I mean, again, it's in fact our city manager Ann Norris kind of let something slip out a little bit because I sort of suspected that this had to do with Botno Transit.
That crossed my mind.
High-density housing,
and she
high-speed rail.
Yeah, I don't see it right here. But she did kind of let the cat out of the bag that, the streets are being reconstructed and rapid transit is coming soon to the highway. Mm-hmm. So this, again, is what we've been talking about time after time, transit-oriented development. They are going to build around the public transit to try to get you to use it so they can control where you go. Mm-hmm. That's the ultimate goal of this, that's the ultimate goal of the high-density housing right there.
Okay. Well, the city isn't likely to be doing the development on this. How does the city?
They're
How does
carrying the
city
water for
plan
the county.
to make these dwellings appear on that site?
Well, that's a good question, because here is the literal quote in the Sun Post. We are working with a potential developer, but there is no development agreement yet.
Oh, so they're fishing.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, there's really no way of getting around this. Why can't District 281 sell it to a developer?
Right.
Why does the city of Crystal have to come in and purchase it
for
and then
4 or 5 times what it's worth.
well, I don't know what it's worth, but I mean, and then send it, then resell it. Why can't, the only thing I can think of is that they want to control what goes there. They want to, they only want a certain thing to go there. That's what I'm thinking. But we see this in cities everywhere. I mean, cities all have comprehensive plans. They all update them. They all have zoning goals.
Oh, that's like neighboring New Hope. Neighboring New Hope has what they call a vision for city center, which is the intersection of County Road 42nd Avenue North and Winnetka. And they just recently made a purchase themselves.
Ooh, for more than $956,000, I take it.
Quite a bit more. You know that the Kmart is going out. So the New Hope Economic Development Authority
Approved by the legislature.
Yeah.
has purchased the and agreed to pay Gator New Hope. Now, that's probably who owns it now. $4.5 million for the Kmart property.
4.5. Now, where do they get 4. They got a New Hope Federal Reserve?
That's a good question.
Well, see, now why didn't they just blight
would,
that location and drive the price down?
I would challenge any commercial real estate person out there to do some comps on that property. What is that property really worth?
That's what I'm saying. It's 4
can-
times more than what it's really worth.
I cannot imagine that an area that is mostly parking lot and a building that is
and
bound
busted
to be
up parking
torn.
lot while
Yeah.
we're at it. All busted up. I mean, if there was ever anything that needed to be designated as blight, that's it.
Right.
Well, and isn't the Wells Fargo drive-through part of that or something? I thought I
Right,
read that.
but that's an additional amount.
That's more.
It's only
It's not
100.
part of the 4.5.
Yeah, that's private.
No, it's $125,000 for the Wells Fargo property, and then up to $10,000 for related incidental expenses. So we're talking about $635,000 that's already on the table that New Hope has laid on the table for this.
So,
Millions, trillions, hey, it's
In
just
fact,
money.
they've already put a down payment. New Hope will provide $225,000 in earnest money, to seal the deal.
so I mean,
that we earnest for them.
yeah, I mean, they
Comes out of
don't
our
they don't make
pocket.
it up. But again, a lot of this is funded, and there's federal programs in this, especially with the housing. There's the federal recovery money. There's TIF, TIF, the tax increment
Incremental
funding,
fund.
right? Which is a way for government to basically increase their tax base by borrowing off future gains. Is basically, and then they pay those gains in increments.
But
back.
that's called gambling everywhere else you go.
Well, don't you know the property value is just going to skyrocket? Hasn't that happened to you?
Right. Yeah, they're all going up. All right.